start my program out by always doing this. I always worry about shit, but you know the one guy who always comes through for me? Xander Kraus and JAKIB Media. They've never let me down. I want to start that out by giving those guys kudos. I don't think I do it enough. I've never bitched about, here, I'll take that back. Not that I've never bitched, but I've never really had to worry. It's all good, man. Welcome aboard a Football Friday. We always start the program off by saying this. Big Sills and the most famous phrase in all of sports. Football Friday. And the only place you get truth, justice, in the Big Sills way is the National Football Show. I'm JAKIB. How you doing? Yes, indeed. I'm all dressed out in Canes. Canes tonight, Virginia Tech. How you doing? It is all good. Love it. Oh, by the way, our 4 hours are powered by our good friends at BetUS. Got to get that there. Our standard is on today. I'll tell you who's becoming legendary. Xander Kraus and his takes. You know, I've had other guys on my program before. Xander gets the most views of all those dudes that I've used on my show before. Xander Kraus. Yes, him. Co-host of Birds 365. He's killing it. I wouldn't put this guy on more than twice. Now he's killing it. He's killing it with his show with John McMullen. I saw John McMullen in only John McMullen way. Hey now. There was an A.J. Brown sighting? Interesting. I don't know what that means. Are you throwing smoke signals out to Todd Bowles and the Bucs by having him out there at practice? It's good stuff. Jameson comes in with the first super chat of the day. We appreciate it. All super chats go to the top. By the way, legendary week in super chats, plus the likes were off the charts. We appreciate it. I can't thank you enough. Did you see Nick's presser? He talked more about his wife than the actual team. Also, reports are now coming out that Hassan Reddick wants to be traded back. Jameson. Lane Johnson also practiced as well. Fantastic. Sills, how about them Cowboys? I learned nothing about the Cowboys' pathetic win against the Giants team that they own. What did you learn? They beat a shitty Giants team? I learned nothing about the Cowboys except that the Cowboys are still shitty. By the way, as I move on, I'll get to Reddick here. I talked to Boomer Esiason and Craig Carton, and I'll get you the update on Hassan Reddick. By the way, Rich Samini, the guy who covers the Jets, where do you think he got it from? So let's go to the horse's mouth, Boomer Esiason and Craig Carton. I'll tell you what they told me here in a second about Reddick. You paid $60 million for Dak Prescott. Why? I mean, dude, I don't know. It's not that the Cowboys can upgrade. That's where their problem is. They can't upgrade. You know how you want to upgrade your seat when you get on an airplane to go to first class? The Cowboys can't buy a first-class ticket with the Cowboy position. Dak Prescott's not a first-class ticket. He's A-class. You know, I mean, it's a great ride. It can get you places. There's a lot of comfort. You really enjoy it. But, dude, what's the difference between being an A-class and business class? Not much. A meal? Keep the meal. Give me the comfort, especially on a 5-hour trip. Now, if you're talking first-class seating, we got a whole different room here. Dak is like A-class. He's good. He's going to win games. But at the end of the day, you're not going to travel in style with him as your quarterback, and you're paying that money. Dude, here, and here's my boy here, and I love him very much. If you're going at Dak, you didn't watch the game. That's not the point. It's fucking Giants? Really? 304? You're gonna hang your hat on a team that they've owned. And then I'm gonna ask you, do you come out of that game 304 as a Cowboy fan? Do you come out of that game going, hey, Dak Prescott's gonna lead me and win me a Super Bowl in Dallas? Of course you don't. Dude, of course you don't. You look at him and you go, hey, by the way, 304, he's a really good player. He's a good player. Dak Prescott's a good player, and I like him. I like Dak. But do I think Dak Prescott's a championship quarterback? I don't. He's going to throw for, watch this. Dude, he's a black guy version of Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is the white guy version of Dak Prescott. They're the same dude. They're the same guy. Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins are the same person. They're no difference. They win a lot. They throw for a ton of yards. Okay? I mean, I don't see it. Tell me I'm wrong. What does Dak Prescott do more than Kirk Cousins? Does he throw for more touchdowns? No. Does he throw for more yards? No. They're the same. The only reason you look at Kirk Cousins differently is because he played in Washington, Minnesota, and now Atlanta. But if you reverse that and put Cousins in Dallas, you'd be calling him he'd be making $60 million instead of the money he's making in Atlanta right now. That's the only difference. 304, you got to see it. Could somebody do this? Crowley, I don't know if you want to do this or anybody. You should put the 7 years or how many years that Dak's been in the league with Cousins and his numbers in the league. I guarantee you they're identical. They're identical. Hey, are both guys functional and good enough to have on your team? Yes, absolutely. Do you think they're going to win you a championship? No. This is a good one from Wayne here. They're both overpaid. Yes. Dude, how about this? Get this one here. You couldn't pay Patrick Mahomes enough money. Right? If Daniel Jones wasn't cross-eyed and had a weak arm, the Cowboys would have lost the game. Cowgirls barely sacked him. No excuses. Absolutely, man. That game was weighed. Hey, dude, if they had any functional, 304, thanks, Prince. Hey, if they had any functioning running game, they'd have beat the Cowboys. What are you doing with that relic of a running back in Zeke Elliott? He sucks. Are you putting him in a Cowboy uniform for nostalgic reasons so fans will buy the jersey? How many people believe that Jerry brought him back so that they'll continue to buy Zeke Elliott jerseys and the fans will really like that because it's Zeke running the ball as a Cowboy and he can finish his career? Devontae, win-loss record. Prescott, NFL's record. 53-32, 623. Cousins, 48-45, 505. Okay? Little better. Devontae doesn't have the Dallas Cowboys. He had the Daniel Snyder Washington Commanders. Actually, really? I thought he was up near 70 wins, Kirk Cousins. I thought Cousins was up near 70. Kirk Cousins' stats, that number doesn't look right. You may be right, dude. I may be wrong here. Yeah, Kirk Cousins is 77-69. Oh, you went the years that Prescott's in. Yeah, he was in Washington and he was in Minnesota. Okay. But Kirk Cousins is 77-69-2. I got what you did, though. I know what you did. I understand. Okay? I got what you said. Kurt's been in shittier situations, though, and he's won. Skins were trash. Ask James Jones. He'll tell you. Daniel Snyder's. I can't remember the last time. The Commanders won it a couple years ago, the NFC East. Okay? I thought Dak wins more than Kirk. He does. He wins a little more. He has, especially the last 3 years. Okay? Dan, most Cowboy fans didn't want Zeke back. They were not buying his jerseys, and they're not buying his jerseys here in Dallas. DFW sports fan. Okay, I mean, tell me this, DFW. The two biggest colossal disasters at the running back position this offseason has to be the Giants moving off of Barkley. By the way, I'm going to get to that here in a minute. And the Cowboys not signing Derrick Henry. Guy has 2 houses in Dallas. Hey, I'm going to disagree with John McMullen and Xander Krause here right now. Hey, you really? You think the Giants last night would have beat the Dallas Cowboys with Barkley in the backfield? How many? Hey, 304. Anybody? If Barkley was playing last night for the Giants, do you think the Giants would have beat the Cowboys last night if they had Saquon Barkley last night? I mean, they could run the ball to save their life. I don't even know what they were running jet sweeps with what? The Dallas Cowboys couldn't even run the ball. They had to put CeeDee Lamb back there. Okay? I mean, I think the Giants win the game last night. Daniel Jones didn't play awful. They just couldn't finish drives. They couldn't finish drives. Somebody was saying to me on my Twitter, hey, Sills, you got to show some respect for Mozzie Smith against the fucking New York Giants O-line. That was like playing against Northwestern. The Giants have a horrible O-line. A horrible O-line. I disagree with Xander and John McMullen. If you're Joe Schoen, I don't know how you justify you have no running game. Either that or you are trying to do and you're going to use a $48 million quarterback as a gap and a stopgap quarterback. Are you crazy? The New York Giants, you know who a stopgap quarterback is? Geno Smith, Tyrod Taylor, Baker Mayfield, guys like that. Those are bridge quarterbacks to the next guy. Even Kirk Cousins, he's a bridge to Michael Penix. You don't use a $46 million guy who's still in his 20s as a bridge. You use a 10, 15, dude, you know what? Nobody would be saying anything about Daniel Jones if Daniel Jones was making $15 million. Nobody would say shit about it. But because he makes $46 million, people are going to say shit about it. Holy cow. I mean, some of these organizations, and some people, the objective as a general manager is to acquire great offensive players in this league. Look at Howie. You really think Howie Roseman needed Barkley? Turns out maybe he did. Because Barkley's been the factor of why the team's 2-1 for sure. How can Daniel Jones be decent behind that line? He can't be. How about this? Let's do one thing here. Then we'll move on to the Eagles and Buccaneers. Let me ask you this. Do you think the Pittsburgh Steelers would be undefeated if Daniel Jones was the quarterback in Pittsburgh? I do. How many people believe that the Steelers would be undefeated with Daniel Jones? Daniel Jones throws a better football than Justin Fields ever did. The Steelers would be undefeated. They'd probably move Fields or Russell Wilson. Can you imagine? How about this? With that defense, With that defense, Daniel Jones would be undefeated. That's right, Randy. Randy's got it here. Guys, please hit the like button. That's right. Steelers. Hey, Randy. Randy, how old are you? How old are you, Randy? Daniel Jones has good protection. Underthrew player sales. We all see it. Yeah, Martin. He's better than you're old? Randy, then. Good. You're old like me. Randy, have you ever not known the Steelers not to be great on defense? Right? I think Daniel Jones is underrated because he's on a shitty team. Hey, get this. Just for the record, thanks for the super chats. If you guys, I don't want to make this a giant deal here, but so if you guys thought Saquon Barkley was underutilized as a New York Giant and you thought he never played behind a good line or good talent, doesn't that apply to Daniel Jones too? I mean, or is it just Barkley? I mean, if Barkley didn't play with good people, how do you not apply that to Daniel Jones? Has he ever played with great players? And him and Barkley did get to the playoffs 2 years ago. It was kind of fraudulent. Get this. What in the world are you talking about? Sileo's glazing got Daniel Jones looking like Chris. The fuck are you talking about? Daniel Jones is a mediocre quarterback because he's on a mediocre franchise. When Jalen Hurts doesn't have all his players, he's a mediocre quarterback. Look at his turnovers. Look at his record in the last 2 years. In the last year and 2 games, he's 13-8. He ain't winning a ton of games since he got the new contract. We pointed that out yesterday. You guys are making it sound like this guy here has been winning since he got his bag of money. That ain't true. 13-8 is mediocre. You're in the middle of the room. Put the turnovers on top of that, you're below the middle of the room. I don't know. Since Jalen Hurts got his money, he's not anything near the second runner-up in the MVP voting. Get this. Martin goes 13-8. Hey, this is a lead here. This is what he says. This guy's making a big deal at 13-8 with a playoff loss involved in it. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay. Martin's happy with 13-8. So you're saying Mayfield, Fields, and Darnold are all a mirage? I don't know. Darnold's 3-0 with good coaching. Mayfield just signed a 3-year, $100 million contract. Fields is now with a good organization in Pittsburgh. He's undefeated. Baker Mayfield has actually played pretty damn good since he went to Tampa. Get around good organization with good players and good teams? I don't know. Sam Darnold's unbeaten. He's got a big game this weekend against Green Bay. You think there's any coincidence that all three are doing well? I'm saying, don't you think? Hassan Reddick. So somebody posted this, and I followed up with Boomer Esiason and Craig Carton. Craig knows the owner. Boomer knows the owner. Boomer knows the general manager, Joe Douglas. Joe Douglas is on WFAN every week. And Boomer does remotes from the Jet Complex every week. It's a giant network, but the networking that's in WFAN is mostly Jets guys. Now, Craig is no longer, he does a weekend show, I think, on FAN, and I think they've hooked his kid up or something. And I asked, I go, is that story true? That Reddick would like to come back to the Eagles. He said if he had his choice, he would mend fences, and I don't know what would have to happen, but they would mend fences and try to make something where he can come back to Philly. Now, what does that mean? He's already lost $9 million. That's non-refundable. So, I mean, what are we talking? I don't know what the parameters would be of that, plus with the contract and with the trade on how that would work out. Do you void the deal and send him back? What would the Jets require more? Who pays the fine? How are you going to compensate him? He's already lost almost all of his salary for 2024. He's been fined $9.8 million. His salary's $14.5 million. How in the world do you pay him? What are you going to pay him? $200,000? I mean, he has to pay that according to NFL Players Association rules, that when you miss games and you're not in camp, you pay a fine daily. There's no way around this money-wise for him. If I'm Hassan Reddick, I sit out the entire year. I'm not playing for free. Right now, he'd be playing for free. Now, can the league in some way offset those fines where they're not as catastrophic, where you have to pay them all at once? I don't know how that works. Like, can you spread it out and defer it? I don't know that. But he would like to come back and play. Okay? I mean, but I don't know how that would work with the contingent second-round pick, third-round pick, the compensation. I don't know how that would work. It would be very complex to try to make that thing happen. He's not playing for the Jets. That thing's dead. He does not want to play in New York. That thing's over with. If he came back, he'd be playing for $5 million because he owes $9.8 million already in fines. I mean, now, once again, I said, can you defer it out 10 years and can you pay? I don't know how they have that set up, how much you have to pay in bulk. I don't know. Okay? Yeah, uncharted territory. Hurts. I've never heard of how something like if you even traded him, say, to Minnesota, okay? He owes 9.8 in fines. He wants a $20 million contract. He's playing for 11. Is that how it would work? How much of that 9.8 do you have to pay? Do you have to pay a bulk of it? A percentage of it? Can you defer it? I don't know. Okay? I don't know. This is another good one here by Andres. I don't know, Sills. He missed all the camp. What kind of shape is he in? He's a kung fu expert. This whole time, we have a third rounder away for Dotson. We gave a third rounder away for Dotson, but not for Hendrickson. Signed him to a 2-year contract. Hey, Xander, I missed one. Martin, that's a good one. Hendrickson, we'll see what happens this week with Cincinnati. I missed the super. Here we go. His samurai training has kept him in shape. Ooh, Jackie Chan. Son. I love the shoes and the umbrella. Holy shit, this guy's a ninja. I mean, Hassan Ninja Warrior. I don't know why I'm spinning the umbrella because, he's spinning the umbrella. Right? Mind over matter. You see, Daniel-san, it's my over matter. I will pay for the Jets, but I pay because I'm Hassan Reddick. I pay for the Eagles. What? Jackie Reddick. Jackie Reddick. Jackie Chan teaching him hand speed. Woo! How to get around defensive tackles. He'll need it. That's for damn sure. There you go. Hey, Forrest. I like that, Forrest. Hassan Warwick. Hey. This is too much here. That's enough of this. All right. I'd be thrown off the radio for sure. Reddick is the new ghost dog. Oh, my God. Hilarious. Hassan Wewick. You guys are, hey, okay, enough. Randy, really? Wait a minute. Wait, where's Randy here? Randy, if you don't know this about this show by now, you must be a new viewer, Randy. Hey, Randy, welcome to the last of the broadcasting shows that, well, everything is no holes barred. Okay? This is what it used to be, Randy. Okay? When sarcasm and everything and fun was okay. That's what this show is. Okay? Right, Sue? Hassan! Totally inappropriate. No shit. So was him sitting out spinning an umbrella in Japan. Not being in camp. Dan Sileo. M. Reyes, this is the funniest you've ever been in your life. How you doing? Okay? Sills, this show is not for snow. Is the fairy godmother. Yes, he is. The greatest, the Philly Godfather at 5:30 Eastern. Prince. All right, hey, should we get into Eagles and my prediction? Don't tell me what Xander did today. I already know what he did. Let me guess. Hey, this is just a guess. Hurts 5 touchdowns, 448, 158 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, 23 of 26, and they beat him 39-1. I'm sure John echoed it too. So we'll give you our takeaway. By the way, we'll get that actual thought at 3:30 Eastern. Jason Cole texted me. And this goes down the light of you guys. He was on your side. He goes like this. I told you that Philadelphia defense, that stout defense, the Xander no holes defense was going to stop New Orleans. So I got to eat a little crow with Jason Cole at 4:30. And then Philly Godfather will join us at 5:30 Eastern time. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Oh, man. No wonder Xander gets calls. Sills, the only trade with the Jets should be for Joe Douglas. Let Douglas run the draft, promote Howie to emperor, handling everything but the draft. I trade for short-term fixes. Let's build. He's tired of short-term fixes. Let's build. Akbar. We move on, Akbar. Akbar, shit, that fits you better than anybody in here so far. You and Sue. We move on to the game this week. I don't know why I'm doing that. I have no idea why I'm doing that. I guess that's in honor of Hassan Wewick. The Dojo King. You have Doja Cat. You have Doja Cat, who I dig. Okay, we have Doja Weddick. Hey, Wayne, Doja Weddick. I love Doja Cat. How you doing, man? Big Sills just crossed Mulberry Street from Little Italy into Chinatown. Great for you, Bob. Dude, I love that neck of the woods, man. I love it down there. Down to Soho. Then you go to Chinatown. Absolutely fantastic grub down there. Both Chinatown and Little Italy. Right? Sills Doja. Doja Weddick. All right. Big Sills predictions. How many people believe that the Buccaneers? No, let's do this. How many people believe that the Eagles go into Tampa? Rainy Tampa, stormy Tampa. Hey, also, all our good friends in Florida, hope you're doing great, man. Especially going up the East Coast, too. I hope you're all cool, man. Hurricanes are nothing to sneeze at. So I hope all is well. I saw the flooding in Tampa. Not good. All up and down the coastline there. The thing wreaked havoc. Like over 2 million people now without power. I don't know how that affects the game. It probably has to affect the travel for the Eagles. Xander, unless you know something different, there's no way they took off today to go down to Tampa. All flights were canceled. So that means this. Instead of getting in on Friday night, they got to possibly get in day of the game. Or tomorrow, if flights are back with Tampa International. Flights at Tampa International have been canceled. So that's going to be a travel issue now for the unless they left yesterday. Hey, Xander, is John down in Tampa right now? Because if he's not, I mean, usually teams take off Friday for a Sunday game. And you get down there on a Friday, you have a walkthrough at the stadium on Saturday, and you play Sunday. Okay? Jameis says no in Philly. Okay. Well, then they're not getting there to at least Saturday night or Sunday morning. They may have to fly the day of the game to get to that game. So that's a travel issue. Okay? It was worse yesterday, Leo. Okay. They may fly out. They may fly out tonight late if it's cleared, but I know Tampa International's with limited flights going in there. Now, could they fly into Orlando, take a bus across? They could do. Look at what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about having to overcome travel issues here. Now, you could fly into Orlando in the middle of the state because Orlando is open. Fly into the middle of Orlando and then take a bus on the 4 and go across. Philly 4x4. Sills in Hillsborough County right now, as usual, after a storm. It's sunny and 88. Field should be dry, fast on Sunday. Okay. Now, is that the eye or has the storm passed them? Because travel issues are going to be an issue. Hey, Little Tone, right? You're right. It's not that long of a flight. It's about a 2.5-hour flight to get down there. Okay. Stu goes, I hate Orlando Airport. Not the best. Okay. And Ryan's right. That airport's a zoo, especially getting in and out of it, man. I've flown thousands of flights out of that place. Tampa's way better. Craig says the storm is past. They may take off then tonight to get down there so they can get through their walkthrough tomorrow. But still, it's a travel issue that you have to cope with. Remember something, too. So is the hotel you're moving into, do they have power? Okay, I mean, are the streets flooded? Flooding is always an issue after a storm like this down there. To and from Dale Mabry. Dale Mabry's always underwater. Always underwater, Dale Mabry. Anybody who lives in that area, you guys chime in. Those retention ponds overflow onto the street. You could be in 4 foot of water and not realize it. Okay, so that's traveling to and from the stadium also. Now, they probably play at the Sheraton and stay at the Sheraton downtown, which if you come down Dale Mabry all the way from downtown, you probably make it cool, but there's a lot of flooding that goes on there. So, oh, yeah, Craig, this is going to be worse than Brazil because of the weather and what happened. Absolutely. Okay, guys, please hit the like button here. All right. How many people believe the Eagles go into this game and win on Sunday? Stadium is right by the bay. It's off Dale. Real Zeal goes like this. Are the clubs open? Those clubs never close, dog. I'm going to give you a little insight about Tampa. There's more strip clubs in Tampa than there are high schools, middle schools, and churches combined. Just to give you a little insight. Okay? 26-17. 24-17 Eagles. Sills, if they run, they win. If they get cute, they won't. Here's Daddy. By the way, all the new people that are coming aboard here, thank you very much, man. I see a lot of new faces in here. I don't believe they win. I know they will win. Okay. To Hughes, thank you very much for becoming a member. Really cool. Okay. Steve, 24-17. The Wonder Sills went to Miami and played in Tampa. Yeah. Okay. No chicks at Notre Dame. Miami strip clubs, the booby trap in Orlando. That I heard. There's a booby trap in Orlando that I heard. The Pink Palomino in Palm Beach, that I heard. And of course, Mons Venus with the great Joe Redner, who I do know. Rachel's in Orlando happens to be one of my absolute favorite places to buy a steak. Yeah. Rachel's in Orlando. Is that place still going? That I heard. Revenge season, says Anthony. All right. It is Tootsie's. Look at Prince. He's got his little maps go out with all the top titty bars in Florida. Prince is like, Sills, for my money, it's Tootsie's. How you doing? Rachel's is still open. Thanks for the update, Real Zeal. Rachel's is the shit. Hey. Let's not get off track. Here's Big Sil's takeaway. Look at Brent. Thanks, brother. Hit the like button, please, guys. All right. Here's Big Sil's takeaway for the Eagles-Bucks game. This is going to be an interesting ball game. Weather, injuries are going to play a massive factor. Alex, thank you for being a new member. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you very much for being a new member. Todd Bowles. Has he owned Jalen Hurts? Since he's matched up against him, how many times have they played? 4 times? And all of them seemingly, if I'm not mistaken, haven't all of them been in Tampa? Bowles won a championship with the Buccaneers as a defensive coordinator. And that first playoff game, they just wreaked havoc on him. The amount of sacks he has performed outside of the early season game of a year ago. Todd Bowles has owned him, right? 55% completion percentage, 2 TDs and 3 picks, 48-78. I mean, he's been sacked a ton. They blitzed the shit out of him. Todd Bowles is 3-1 against Hurts. That's got to be like the best coaching record against Jalen of anybody that he's played since he's been a starting quarterback, right? Maybe Dallas throw in there too a little bit. But Todd Bowles has owned him, especially 2 playoff games. 2 playoff games, he was terrible. Now, again, the first one in 21, you kind of give a hall pass because it's a rookie starting season for him. But you don't give him a hall pass for this past January for getting murdered in it. You don't give him any pass. He was terrible in that game, as everyone was. But the quarterback takes more of the heat for everything in that, right? Senor goes plus the game against Brady, but Todd was the DC, Senor, of that defense when Brady won the Super Bowl. Okay? He was the defensive coordinator of that team. Bucks have to do this here. They come into the game. Does anybody have an update on Kalijah Clancy? Kalijah Clancy, the kid from Pitt, and Vita Vea, are they playing? Are they listed as questionable? Because they were a non-factor in that Denver game. Okay? They were a non-factor in that game. I haven't heard if Clancy's playing. Andre says Via is playing. Okay, he's playing. That's going to be a great test for Cam. Okay? Andre, I'm going to save him for Monday. That's why we put on yesterday Marcus Hayes. We put him on yesterday. So we'll put Angelo on Monday. AJ and Devontae could be laying out. I know that they're giving you the look that they're going to play. I don't believe they're playing. Why not game plan it that way? I don't have a problem with that. Playing a little gamesmanship. I have no problem with that. I don't believe the three of those guys will be on the field come Sunday. Thank you, Cosmo. Appreciate that. Guys, please hit the like button. I don't think those guys are playing. I think they're too banged up. But you never know. But that doesn't seem to be like the Birds' MO. Damn, I'm at the game tonight. Miami, baby. Did it go? Hey, DRC. I didn't know that. You're at Hard Rock tonight? That's going to be a tough game, man, Virginia Tech. Thank God it's in Miami and it's not in Blacksburg. Place is a train wreck. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin will be a challenge, to say the least. It'll be a challenge. Do you go with the home team that has totally shut down Hurts and the Bucks? Remember, no Barkley, though. Here's my take. If Nick Sirianni could stay the fuck out of the way and the Bucks run the football, I think the Eagles win the game 27-20. I'm going to take the better quarterback. Jalen Hurts over Baker Mayfield. I'm going to take Hurts. Was that a tough choice? Not really. I think he's better without some of those stars on his team. So I'm going to take Hurts. This is going to be more about Kellen. Our defense plays like last week. We beat everyone. Look at this guy here, man. He's so can't see out sales. Factor. Seals, if he puts it together, the league will be in trouble. Spa says. Dude, if he wins this football game come Monday, I'll have a completely different opinion of Jalen Hurts. It'll change some of the narrative that I have about him if he wins on Sunday. By the way, if he loses close on Sunday, it may change my opinion of him. Seals Bucks have 17 players on the injury report. Well, Abe, you're probably not going to play with Lane, AJ, and Devontae. I don't know. How much of a factor are those guys compared to some of the Buccaneer guys that may miss? That's right. Smitty's out. He won't clear protocol. I don't think so either. I don't think Lane is going to clear protocol, but likely won't clear protocol either. Brown is questionable, but likely a game time scratch or only active for emergency purposes. I wouldn't even put him on the sidelines in gear. Okay. 17 gay Abe is a lot. I agree with you. Sills, do you think Howie is working on bringing Reddick back? I first think that you have to work, Cosmo, on what the parameters would be and how that would look, bringing him back. I mean, does he want to play or does he want to get paid or both? Because if he wants to get paid, he's not going to come back to Philly. Philly's not going to give him a contract. They're stuck in that Bryce Huff deal. Even though they have $27 million in the bank, they can pay him. But again, that's a perception look, too, that they fucked up. Sills Bowles has done well against Hurts. I would say very well. But is it all Hurts' fault? No, it's schematics. The OC needs to see what's happening in the game and adjust. But here's my problem, Bob. The OC needs to see what's happening in the game. Well, it doesn't matter when you have too many voices making decisions and opinions on what play should be run next. What's changed from 23? You heard Kellen and both Nick saying the dynamic 2024 is the same as it was in 2023. You just got smarter people in the room. Is that fair, Bob? The dynamic hasn't changed. You just got smarter people in the room. And that's what I think the organization was shooting for and why they didn't hire Clint Kingsbury. Kingsbury wanted to do it himself. The organization wants to do it collaborative. And that was Doug Peterson's issue with it. I mean, I really don't think anything's changed. I just think you got smarter people. Wow. Antonio Winfield is out for the Bucs. That's a huge deal. That is a huge deal, man. That means Goddard up the middle on the hash marks. Bucs don't have anybody in that guy's room that can cover Dallas Goedert. Antonio Winfield, in my opinion, was the dude that covers the slot or covers the tight end. You don't have Antonio Winfield out there, you're in trouble if you're the Bucs. Now, again, what you do have is Todd Bowles. By the way, Virginia Tech was a mess of a place to play. My boys Marshall lost there 3 weeks ago. The thing is an insane place to play. Stadium rocks. Fans are nuts. Metallica, the whole thing. It's crazy ass. Just crazy. Carter and Davis need to have impact. I'm going to get to the keys of the game here and the key matchups. So I get the Bucs 27-20 here. Okay. Here are the matchups. Yes, David's playing. He's a heck of a linebacker, and he's a hell of a player. Levante David, man, I love him. What a great football player. Kellen Moore versus Todd Bowles. Who wins that? Bowles is the better coordinator by far. By far. What up, Big Sills? I'm sweating just looking at you in that hoodie. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little hot. It was a little cold when I started the show. You know, I'm getting older now. So now I have to watch the rest of the show naked until you take it off. Come on, man. See? Get on. Wait, tell me easy. Hey, make someone tell me if I picked the Eagles to win versus the Buccaneers 27-20. Okay? So let's go here. Let's continue here. See, we're having a little internet issues. So, guys, please do me a favor. Keep hitting the like button. Thank you anyway. Maniac, you broke Sil's internet with that comment. Thank you. Thank you here. Hopefully this thing comes back here. We're experiencing a little bit of issues here. I think it's rolling back here now a little bit. So as it comes back here, let me sit here and let this thing. All right, here we go. Kellen Moore versus Todd Bowles. Who do you like in this matchup? I like Todd Bowles here. Bowles is a better coordinator. Bowles is a better coordinator. That's gonna be a great test for Kellen Moore. Q versus Mike Evans. Does Quinyon Mitchell shut down Mike Evans? No. Does he slow him? Yes. Weather? How many footballs are going to be put in the air on Sunday? 25? This will be a big test for Quinyon Mitchell. Mike Evans is a first ballot Hall of Famer. And he's going to be in the slot, and he's going to be on the numbers. That's going to be a matchup. Okay? I don't want him to beat him. I want him to slow him. Okay? Slow him down. And tell me this doesn't play a factor here. Dude, think about this. You've been going against A.J. Brown in practice the entire training camp, and now you get Mike Evans? What's the difference? There's where the schooling comes in. Hey, man, you know where his confidence is built? By going against Mike Evans? His confidence is built. I go against A.J. Brown. All about the you, baby. Got it? Hey, I've been going against A.J. Brown since I got here. Wait. Slay on Evans. No. I think you're going to have – I think Slay's going to be more on Godwin. Now, here's what we have to look at here. Huff is going to be going against that guy, Luke Godik. He's got to beat him. That guy's horseshit. Ian Beckles, who covers the team and is a former Buck, says the guy's garbage. Huff's got to beat him. Huff has got to beat him. Okay? He's got to beat him. Avonte Maddox on Chris Godwin. No way. I'll take Godwin on that all night. You know, I'm okay with Evans and Q. By the way, I think Mike Evans on Slay is a nightmare for the Eagles. I think Quinyon Mitchell on Mike Evans is more of a battle. I don't think he can handle him. Because you don't have the pass rush yet. Now, if you get a rush, Slay can handle him. But if you don't get a pass rush, Slay can't handle him. He can't handle him running up and down the field on him. 6'6" kid. No way. He's a physical mismatch against Darius Slay. That's right, Flexen. Pressure will be the key to this and how the secondary plays. It always is. Dotson on Jamal Dean. This is obviously if AJ's not playing. Jamal Dean's a good player. Dotson has no chance. So if you look at it, your guys are going to be covered. The only issue that the Bucs have is Antonio Winfield not playing. That's a big deal because that means the center of the field is going to have issues. But Todd Bowles will come up with a scheme to cover that. Todd Bowles is as good of a defensive-minded guy as anybody in the league. He is phenomenal. Brian Flores, Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel, any coordinator you want to talk about, he's right there. He's the top of the shelf kind of coordinator. Todd is a great pressure package guy. Every time you see his football team, you have no idea what he's going to throw at you, and he never throws the same thing at you twice. He's very creative. Very creative. That's why he's a head coach and why he's been given opportunities. His schemes, like Brian Flores' schemes. I hope Brian Flores gets another opportunity to be a head coach again, because what he's doing in Minnesota, when you put on the 22 and watch Brian Flores, you understand what a savant he is defensively. He is brilliant. This guy lines up in 6 personnel, and then they drop 8. And you never know what you're looking at when you're a quarterback and they rush 3. And you're like, they're all disguised. There's never a passing lane. And their guys fly to the ball in Minnesota. I mean, he'll line up in 6 front and have us. You never know who's coming. That's kind of what Todd does. You never know. Vic does a little bit of this. Okay? Vic does a little bit of this. You line up 6 guys across the front like they did against New Orleans. Now, here's the one difference that you're going to see with the Buccaneers and New Orleans. The Buccaneers are going to run 11 personnel. The Saints didn't. They were never really, outside a few plays, in 11 personnel. I'm not sure they were ever 11 personnel against the Eagles, the Saints. But you're going to see a lot of 11 personnel in this game. Okay? That's a staple since Bruce Arians has been in the building in there, that they love that 11-man personnel set. Bowles is a great coach. Players love playing for him. He's one of the most underrated head football coaches in the league. I would enjoy playing for a guy like that. Do you think Vic this week will let the Bucs get yards in between the 20s instead of up against the goal line and say Baker can't beat us in the red zone? But you know what you do, David? And I appreciate the super chat. Thank you. Guys, please hit the like button. David, the problem that you have with that philosophy, you're putting a lot of variables in there too. Fumble, blown coverage. Now, the reason that you love that kind of situation, and to me, I always felt this way. I always felt in red zone, it favored the defense because I have 14 versus 11. Why do I say 14 versus the 11 that you have in red zone if you're playing defense? Do you guys have an idea why? That I think it favors the defense in the red zone? Slagger, I think we're saying the same thing, Slagger. Okay? You got the sidelines, you got the back of the end zone. So you basically have 3 additional defenders and less space, like Slagger said. And I think you have a little bit less time for you to get those plays out. So they have to be quick 3-step drops and 5-step drop shit like that, or running plays when you're down in the red zone like that. You know, sidelines, back of the end zone. That's 3 extra defenders and limited space. I always feel as a defensive guy, I have the advantage when I'm down there. If you don't give a big chunk play up on first down, you're going to win that battle and force them to a field goal. Now, in this game, field goals may be what you're looking for because of the weather. I hope Nick doesn't pass on any of this shit. Even if it's 4th and 1 and you're on the 10-yard line, you better kick those fucking field goals with a rainy football game, limited players that you have on your team, limited stars. You can't pass points up in this game. Sirianni could cost you this game. He is something that keeps me on my toes because he could come up with a harebrained plan at any moment out there. We've seen it. Slagger, in on the road. Nick's got to get the fuck out of the way here. Absolutely. Okay? 4th and inches. Kick it. In the rain, you could fumble it, lose points, lose 15-12. Same way you won. I think this is a low score. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Not because the Eagles are not better, because the Eagles may not have all of their bullets in their chambers. Like, get this. The Bucs are going to have all their bullets pretty much. Antonio Winfield's a big loss, no question. Okay? But they're going to go in with pretty much everybody they have for the first 3 weeks. You're not. As of now. Okay? As of now. That may change. But if, let's just say they do play. Lane's not 100%. AJ won't be 100%. Look at the conditioning. Why would you put AJ Brown on the field when he hasn't run in almost a month? Would you really bring him back? That's why I think that picture John McMullen posted is smoke and mirrors. I think it's great work by John. But this guy hasn't even run. All super chats go to the top. I appreciate it. Decoy for sure. I think you can make Baker make bad decisions. To think Slay and Q can cover Evan Godwin, it's Chris Godwin all day, is not realistic. Evan in front of Baker will get an INT. Keep Evan in front of Baker. He'll get an INT. I got what you're saying now. Thank you. Seals, did you see the clip from Saquon asking Jalen Carter, why not today? Why not dominate today? They're scared of you. I played against you. I know what they fear. I'll have to watch that. Someone told me to take a look at that. Wow. That's great leadership from Saquon Barkley. I played against you. I know who you are. That's fucking brilliant. That's brilliant. Dude, I'll say it here to you guys. I couldn't be more wrong about a move Howie made and Saquon Barkley. He has been everything as advertised on and off the field. I don't like him dicking around with the Giants and him being butthurt that he's not a Giant still. But he's relishing his role as an Eagle, and he's enjoying it. Okay? He's enjoying it. You know, hey, everybody, Tom Brady's not a Buck. Tom Brady's a Patriot, but he enjoyed his time in Tampa. And that's how it is. I think Shady McCoy enjoyed his time in Buffalo. He's not a Bill. He's an Eagle. And he was butthurt when the Eagles moved him, but he enjoyed himself. That's what happens. Okay? When you move around like that, there's certain places you really have an identity for. And you enjoy yourself. And you enjoy the people. You enjoy how you played. Barkley's a Giant forever, but he's expanding his legacy in Philly, and he knows that. You can't say he's not done it 150% because he has. Leading the NFL in rushing. You know what Barkley's doing? Barkley is going out telling people, fuck you, you were wrong about me, including me. And he's doing it. He's doing it. That's the greatest fuck you of all time. Hey, you said I was done. You said I had bad legs. Well, here I am. I'm leading the NFL in rushing. I don't know how long it lasts, but I'll tell you one thing's for sure. I'm getting it done at least the first month of the season. You can find the clip on my X account at Prince. Okay, I'll make sure I check it out, Prince. Hey, Prince, do me a favor. Can you forward that over to me? Forward that over to my my X account, and I'll watch it in a break. Send it over at Dan Sileo Show. Thanks, brother. Totally great. Nick Sirianni versus Todd Bowles. What is the one thing that you learned about Raheem Morris in that Atlanta game that will carry over into the Buccaneer game? You understand Todd Bowles is a Tony Dungy guy / Raheem Morris / Mike Tomlin kind of guy. You know that, right? Those guys are all off that tree, right? Kyle goes time of possession. I'll tell you why you're right, okay? In KOP, tell the good folks down there in King of Prussia hi. Pressure sells. Eagles red zone defense top 4. Bucks red zone defense 14. Didn't expect the Eagles to have top 4 red zone defense. Here's what Raheem does. Raheem's got patience. He's not going to get flustered in any way. He don't mind giving field goals up. Todd Bowles. He doesn't want to give plus 25. That's what Raheem doesn't want to do. All those guys that play for Dungy, don't give up the big play. Play defense 20-20. Get off the field. Stats aren't an issue here. Time of possession is one thing that the Eagles have done in 3 weeks has been what? They've owned the time of possession. They just haven't been able to get the offense. Hey, do me a favor. You guys are saying that the Eagles are really – is that right, Xander? Buccaneers or the Eagles are really great in the red zone, right? I'd like to know what the Eagle offense is in the red zone, because that's how you're going to win games also, scoring points. How good are the Eagles? Where are they ranked offensively in the red zone this year? If you think it's a bad idea to let them get yards in between the 20s, then you do blitz. This Bucks bad line is made for Baker to make quick decisions. Outside of their left tackle, I don't think they got shit back there, David. Okay, here's Kyle. Always count on Kyle. So the Eagles are 4th or 5th, I saw them, in red zone defense. They're 24th in red zone offense. Not working on the same page here, are we? Once they get down into the red zone, Hurts is having difficulty spotting people. Turnovers. This is where most of the problems are coming with the Eagle offense. They're doing a great job from 20-20. They're second in the NFL in total yards. They're 24th in red zone scoring. What's the point of being second? They're empty calorie stats. What's the point? You're second in offense. You're 24th in scoring offense, or 24th in red zone offense. Great. Put a lot of yards up, that means shit. For Hurts' development, we should keep Lane, AJ, and Devontae out till the Cowboy game. That's, I'm assuming, after the Cleveland game. Even if we lose, Stephen, this is too good a take. It will teach him how to win without playmakers. And it will benefit him in November, December, and January. Absolutely, Stephen. Absolutely. So as I take what the defense gives me, that's not the aggressive mindset of the head coach. He doesn't take what the defense or what the opponent gives him. He overrides that. Isn't it funny, Kyle? Isn't it funny? The head coach and everyone tell you how great Jalen Hurts was in training camp by, doing what the defense was giving him and playing to that. And yet the coaches on the Eagles don't apply the same philosophy. They're over aggressive no matter what the situation is, and no matter what the analytics say or what the analytics do say. These guys don't have a gut feeling for it. I'm going to tell you one more problem that you have with the Eagles and how they do their offensive play calling. Nothing has changed. It's smarter guys in the room. That's it. You have too many voices. Stoutland, wide receiver coach, Nick, Kellen, Nussmeier, Hurts. One guy's got to make a call here. I mean, I'll tell you guys a little bit of personal stuff here about how we raised my kid. I don't believe that a parent, this is me, I'm not saying you should raise your kid this way. I don't believe a parent should have two parents telling their kid two different things and how to get to a finish line. I think there should be one voice in the kid's ear so that they'll have clarity in how to get to the finish line. Both of you can go back later on and go, hey, don't you think she should have did it this way? Decision on that, on how you're going to go about teaching her the next time she tries to get to the finish line. I don't think the kid should come to you and go, I want you to run it this way in a zigzag. Yeah, I want you to serpentine this way and get to that. Then you got two different guys telling you how to get to the finish line. And that's kind of what you have here when it comes with your play calling. They're all trying to get to the end zone, but they have different philosophies on how to get to the end zone. You're not on the same page. No coordinator's the same. Brian Johnson's not the same as Kellen Moore or Shane Steichen. These guys are like leaves on a tree. Okay? They're all different. You can have the same fucking playbook in your hand and call a completely different ball game because how you see, how you apply the analytics, how you have a feel for the game. This is all about personalities. Being an offensive and defensive coordinator is a personality thing. Man, you could draw plays up all you want. Who's the hot hand? Jalen Carter. Run a T-stunt. That's what Vic did. Nobody was telling Vic to run a fucking T-stunt. Vic did it. And then Clint Hurt applied it. And they ran the T-stunts to a T, actually, and to perfection. There's clarity on that. The reason that the defense played so well last week, because there's clarity with one guy making the calls. The offense is fumbling around and struggles in the red zone. Why? Everyone's got an opinion. Everyone's got an opinion. I don't care. You know when I care about your opinion? Monday and Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't care about your opinion on Sundays. Fuck that, man. Let's get to the end zone. Let's get to the fucking end zone. Do you think the analytics is wrong or Nick is not applying the analytics correctly with his play calling? Senor, yes. I think they tell him, here. Does Moore just nod and say, yes, sir? Yeah, I think he does. Or does he go against Nick's call analytics decision? No, I think he doesn't go against Nick. How could he? He's not the head coach. Nick has already told you he's the head coach. Nick makes a call. That call's going no matter what Kellen likes it or not. Kellen's not overriding the head coach. That's not his job description. When he got the job, he had to understand that this was going to be a collaborative issue. They said it. This is collaborative. I hate that. You imagine having two captains on a boat trying to get across the ocean with two guys having two completely different philosophies, or even if you talked about the route, one guy's going to want to go in rough waters, one guy's not going to want to go in rough waters. You can apply that to anything in life. Hey, I want to go to New York from Philly. Well, I'm going to take 95 up. You know what? You could take the off. You could take like the 495 and go up this way, or you can go up to Chesapeake and you could cut a little bit of. I'm going to take the 95 up because it's a sure thing. There's gas stations there in case there's a breakdown. My car's had some issues. Yeah, but I want to cut at least 30 minutes off. And you're like this. Well, you have a different way of getting home. Okay? Akbar, yeah, one day this has to happen too. But Jalen can override, though. He doesn't. I think he does exactly what Xander says. I think this guy knows the chain of command, and he's not going to override it because he was raised by a coach's dad. No, it's because they're not executing the plays. Other coaches are not butting in on red zone offense. Only Kellen and Sirianni sales. That's not what Nick said. Nick said in his press conference that on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, Nussmeier, Stoutland, all of them have a say in the game on what they should run. Somebody will come. Dude, all you got to do is go back and listen to it. Prince, tell him. He said it. I'm not saying they run that play. I'm saying everyone's got an opinion on what play to run. And then Kellen goes with it. We should run this. All right. That's not a game plan. Your game plan is formulated on Tuesday? What about Sunday when you have to make in-game adjustments? I think they're horrible at in-game adjustments, by the way. They're horrible. I agree with Steve's take with Hurts' development, but I'd like to add maybe it'll help the coach too, because it depends on his playmakers. Hence his fourth down situational calls take the points. Absolutely, Jerron. Absolutely. Forget the analytics. What did Lombardi or Hank Stram use? Analytics did not exist. John Madden, Bill Walsh. Yeah, but that's not necessarily true. Here, I'll show you what a normal playbook. I mean, you know what? I should find one because I got an old game plan. Okay. 1st and 10. They like to run this 28% of the time. 2nd and 7. They like to run this. 3rd and 4. They like to run the dive 30%. I'm just going to give you just a little bit here. You'll get a sheet at the beginning and they'll go over a brief little synopsis. Then what they'll do is they'll start giving you the numbers. This is even in my time. 1st and 10, they like to run the dive play 28% of the time. That means they like to run in between the guards and center. 2nd and 7, they like to run screens. Be prepared for screens and play action. 3rd and 4, high percentage play. Why? Short yardage. Anything under 5 yards, got to be prepared. They're going to go back to inside runs. That's kind of like a game plan for the Ravens. Then obviously you do this. 3rd and 8, what do? Do you know 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 9? You've got a 14% chance of executing 3rd and 8 and 9 if you're an offense. 3rd and 2, you got a 33% chance of success. Closer, obviously, to 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3 and 4. You have a higher success rate than you do 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. And those create high percentage turnover opportunities. That's why a year ago, the Eagles were getting in trouble late in the season because they were 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. And when you're 3rd and 8 and 9, you're throwing high percentage turnover opportunities. When Hurts is running the ball and they're running like they're running right now, and what's been a real cool thing on owning time of possession? It's been Barkley having you between 3rd and medium, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. You're winning 1st and 2nd down again. Last year, you didn't win 1st and 2nd down. Okay? I mean, there is percentages to this. And that's called applied analytics. You don't sit there and fucking go like this. Well, I'm going to run a dive play on 3rd and 8. 3rd and 8. Now, you could say, we're trying to catch him off guard. And you're coming out of your trends when you do that. Okay? That happens. People will come off their trends to do shit like that. So when you're a player, I know, you know what's funny? Most of the people that, watch these football players, these guys are constantly thinking you're talking to each other. They like to run a dive play here. They like to run the counter tray. They like to slip and scoop here. They want to run the stretch play here. And you're constantly looking at where you are in the field. 3rd and 6. That's kind of like no man's land a little bit. 3rd and 6. Okay, they could run a screen. They could run a draw. Most likely it's going to be a high percentage pass. Here, let me tell you, I could do this easily. By the way, please hit the like button, guys. I could do this easily with Brady. Watch this. I'll close my eyes. Brady, 1st down run. 3rd and 7. Brady, intermediate slot pass to Edelman. Third and 5. Brady across the middle to Gronk. First down. He'll do the same shit over and over again. Check down, check down, check down. Brady didn't throw deep passes. Not at any time in his career was he a deep ball thrower that won Super Bowls. And never. His greatest year passing, he didn't win a Super Bowl. Check downs, high percentage plays. That's why I completely disagree with John McMullen. If Barkley catches the ball, fuck that. I don't want Barkley catching the ball. I'm going to run a play that kills the clock, puts me in a position, kick the fucking field goal anyway. But you know what you do in that process? If the player makes the mistake, you still burn the clock, didn't you? Everybody in Philly's like, well, Barkley only catch. Okay, say he doesn't. Well, you lose killing the clock and you lose the game. That's what you did on that play. Well, Barkley fucked it up. No, I'm going to take that out of the player's hands, especially with the player that's had the most drops as running back since he's been drafted. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Our red zone percentages would probably be better if they ran the ball when they got there. That's right, Jerron. Take the high percentage. Hey, get this. What's a higher percentage chance of you winning a ball game? Throwing the ball to Barkley on 3rd and 3 or whatever it was to go in for the score, or killing the clock, running the ball, lining up for 4th down because the Falcons couldn't stop the clock, burn another 15 seconds or 20 seconds. You could have stopped it at 24 seconds. You could have burned another 24 seconds off the clock. You could have burned the 25, then another 24, call timeout, kick the field goal, and they'd be under a minute. I mean, use your brains. Player has to make the play. No shit. Players don't make plays all the time. Players fumble. Players drop passes. Players fumble in Super Bowls. It happens. I'm trying to alleviate that. I do that in drafting. That's how I evaluate drafting. What gives me a better percentage of chance of success with a player? Better coaching, better conference, better opponents. That's why Q is an outlier. Q is the only non-Power 5 guy drafted in the first round this past year. Okay? That was a risky pick. It looks like the risk is playing out and panning out. All this stuff, like in this Buck game. Here, let's finish this up. 2 DTs. Cody Malk, Brand Barton, the rookie, Ben Breedson. The 2 DTs should fucking own this game. I don't want to hear any excuses that the 2 defensive tackles, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, did not dominate this football game in the middle. These guys are worse than the Saints. No excuses. And if you don't put 2 games together like that, here we go again. We're going to go on a seesaw ride all year? That's not good football. That means I can't count on you week in and week out. You start stringing these things together, then you start to go like this. They're formidable. They're formidable. Dude, that guy that plays in New York, that Dexter Lawrence dude, is fucking amazing. That dude can play. Holy shit, is he good. Man, he's a man. You cannot block him. That BB guy, hey, dude, that guy had his lunch handed to him. That guy is a walrus in the middle. One of them big old seals you see out there in the ocean, flopping away, man. You ain't moving that dude. You need a tractor trailer to get that guy out of the way. This guy's one of them big old seals sitting there in Carmel on the rocks. You got to move that guy? You ain't moving that guy. That's a big guy, man, and he can move. He can move. That's what I want to see out of this game here with these 2 guys. There's no reason for Jordan Davis not to be a better player. Here, look at his production, too. Here, this is sorry. Here's Jordan Davis's first 3 weeks. 52% of the snaps, 0 tackles, 0 sacks, 0 pressures. What? 13th pick? You're fired. Week 2, 48%. 2 tackles, no sacks, no pressures. Week 3, 52% of the snaps, 4 tackles, 1 TFL, 1 hit on the quarterback. Okay? Now we're talking. But look at what I'm saying here. So for 3 weeks, you played below average for 2 of them, and you had an outstanding game 3. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you? They from last year's Bucs game should have them hot. Absolutely, they quit. I mean, they quit. They absolutely quit. Barkley versus the Bucs linebackers is going to be interesting. Levante David can play. I don't know who this guy Dennis is. Okay? KJ Britt he's been beat out. And Devin White is not even, I think, going to even make the trip. What does that tell you? They don't even want Devin White on the airplane with them going to Tampa. Seals, I know they're different players and one is destined for the Hall of Fame, but why can't Jurgens execute the tush push? Only needing to gain 8 yards per series, knowing you had 2 in the bank was huge. Absolutely. You started every series, Bob. When you had when you had Jalen or when you had Jason Kelsey, you started every single series out 1st and 9. Think about that. 1st and 9 every series. Let's not forget something too, Bob. It wasn't Hurts that was the reason of the tush push. He was also 26 of 28 was Carson Wentz in the tush push. So it was Kelsey. I told you when Kelsey went, the tush push would go. You know, I mean, you could see they're not at all effective on that like they've been in the past. They're just not effective in it. And they know that. And that's why they're doing gimmick plays off of it now. They know they're not as good. That play is not – get this. Coordinators are now starting to see they can't run that play. So as it goes on further and further and they see the less and the trends that they're not getting success with it, they're not going to prepare for it defensively. And they know that the Eagles are going to stop running it soon. Or, get this, lining up in it. Because personally, I'm to a point now, if I'm a coordinator and they line up in that tush push, I think it's 50-50 that they run it, let alone get it. And pretty soon, it's going to be more 30-70. They're not going to run it because they're not being successful at it. So, Abe goes like this. Sills, Bond and Dean is ranked 7th and 24th ranked in linebackers, and David is 22nd. Abe. Levante David is a great linebacker. First 3 weeks of the season, you think Joe Burrow sucks being 0-3? Let's hang in there a bit. See how the whole season plays out. Levante David is the leader of that football team on defense. Be proud to have a guy like that on your defense. Super Bowl champion, captain of a team. Todd Bowles screams about him. I'd hang in there about him. He's a good football player. Barkley against those linebackers. How much passing is going to go on in this game as well is going to be an issue too.